Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with another one. Stephen Will here, ready to talk Detroit Lions football. But before we do, hit that subscribe button if you haven't for some crazy reason, and think about becoming a member so you can win some of this free stuff that we got coming up. Got the Tesla jersey here locked and loaded. Got a football. Got some other stuff that is going to be coming out too in the huge giveaway that Steve has deemed the biggest giveaway of Detroit Den 313 history. But that said, that stuff out of the way, what we talking, Steve? What's going down?
We dodged a little bit of a bullet today, Will. We dodged a little bullet. Sounds like we're going to get Terion Arnold back sooner rather than later. It didn't sound like a season-ending injury after the second opinion on that shoulder. That's good news for Lions. I've seen some, and I don't know what to believe. All right, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a reporter. I've seen some reports out there that he could be back in about 4 weeks, something that maybe at the end of the month, maybe 6 weeks. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see what Dan and Brad officially come out and say, but I'm relieved that we at least get him back sooner than, hanging it up for the season for Terion Arnold, because I'm not giving up on Terion Arnold. I know you're not either, Will. I know a lot of people, man, I've seen some pretty messed up things on TikTok today. People tagging us in some stuff on TikTok, some Twitter stuff. I don't know. I feel like we've been critical of Terion Arnold, and maybe it's deserved, maybe it's not. I've kind of regressed my opinion. I don't want to beat him up too bad. He's a second-year player, and I think he's playing some pretty good football. Penalties are a problem, but I'm still relieved that he's going to be back sooner rather than later. Well, how are you feeling?
I feel good about it. Somebody that I'm still cheering for. Never want to see any player hurt and not out there, pursuing their dreams and playing a game that they love. So, TA, man, I'm looking for you to prove these haters wrong, man, because like you said, there's been some things on social media that are not nice, and I can personally attest to when things get said that aren't nice. Sometimes it hurts your little feelings. So hopefully, TA, the noise isn't getting to you. You can heal up fast, man, and get out there and play some ball. Prove these haters wrong, man.
Yeah, I think we need him back. We're going to also talk about the Lions getting kind of, what's the word I'm going to look for here when it comes to Trey Hawkins of the New York Giants. We kind of got chest, I guess, man. We kind of got a move pulled on us just to block us from picking someone up. Trey Hawkins from the New York Giants, William, a young kid that has been reported that the Detroit Lions are interested in. He's in his third year of his rookie contract. Been playing some pretty good football for the New York Giants. A little bit of injury history there, but it just kind of screams like this is a Brad Holmes type of guy, nothing over the top or splashy, but just someone who kind of come in and stop the bleeding in this DB room and kind of provide us with some help. So how do you feel about Mr. Trey Hawkins?
I got an opportunity to watch some film on him. He's physical, man. He's a big physical corner, and I think that there's upside there. Anytime I'm looking at the draft, Julius Brents is somebody out of
Kansas State.
Yeah, he was in a couple drafts ago. He said it kind of reminds me of a big physical corner, like that type of a guy. Man, he can run. He can come downhill and play in the run game. Who knows what he could turn out to be, especially coming to a place like Detroit, man, where he can just get an opportunity to just play hard and develop. So I would love to get him in camp. My expectations would be low. Right, he would come in as a special teamer and a depth piece, but when I think about the rest of our room, I think he would fit right in. So I would be open to bringing this guy in because I want to bring somebody into this room, man, to bring me a little bit of a warm and fuzzy. I know Dorsey went out, so he's another one that's going to miss some time. This is turning into one of them situations where a lot of our guys are banged up, and we're going to be looking at Whiteside.
Kendall Vildor possibly coming back. What do you think what was that?
I don't. Something tells me that Kendall won't be back, and I think that'll be mutual. I think that the Detroit Lions are all set on Mr. Kendall Vildor, and I think that he's all set on Detroit because Kendall Vildor, his name got dragged through the mud in Detroit, so it is what it is.
Yeah, Trey Hawkins. Listen, we talked yesterday. I love Rocky Scene. I love Avante Maddox. That's great. But I just think we need some depth. And this is a Trey Hawkins move would have been something that I could just say, like, this doesn't surprise me at all. This is a Brad Holmes move. He's not going to go out and trade for a Sauce Gardner or a crazy high name. I know you like Newsome out of Cleveland. I think that's more realistic. I don't know how realistic. I don't know what the price tag would be on him, but I'd be more than okay with that. Um, so Trey Hawkins, we kind of swung and missed there. I'm just looking to add someone that can provide some depth because I'll say the same thing I said yesterday. We just got a lot of football left, and we're already kind of getting banged up in the secondary. I still don't believe Kirby Joseph is 100%. I saw Brian Branch get banged up in the Bengals game the other day. He went down a couple times. DJ Reed being on the shelf, Terion being on the shelf for a little bit. So I think our DB room needs a little bit of help, and I don't expect a blockbuster trade or anything where we're giving up 2 first rounders. I've seen some names brought up. Um, Dude from the Chargers, you mentioned him yesterday. I'm drawing a blank. Had the fusion surgery. Someone who's banged up. Asante, not
Asante,
Sam.
Asante Samuel.
Um, Stephon Gilmore, like I think Stephon Gilmore might be a realistic option just because he's available. We don't need him to be a 3 or 4 year player. Just another guy come in, stop the bleeding, help us build some depth in this room. So if anyone's out there is expecting Brad to go out and make this monstrous trade for a corner in the next few weeks, because I see some teams already starting to make some moves before the trade deadline, and maybe it's time to start thinking about it, sooner rather than later. But we're playing good football. We're 4-1 right now. We're looking pretty good. We're getting absolute dominating type wins. Like I think the scoreboard isn't even reflective of how the games are actually going. I think Cincinnati made the game a little closer in garbage time. I think Baltimore made the game a little closer with some garbage time. So I'm not panicked at all. We're still playing really, really good offense. We're scoring the football. We're getting stops. We're pressuring the quarterback. Our linebackers are playing out of their minds. So it's just something that we're probably going to keep an eye on in the next 3 to 4 weeks on. Is this going to be something Brad has to address? Or are we going to, lose someone else for a game or two and then maybe force our hand a little bit more? But I would just like to see someone for a little bit of depth.
Depth is where it's gonna be. I'm guilty of getting these, maybe not as big as the fan base's dreams, but I get these dreams and I get enamored with certain players, especially when I seen them in a few drafts ago, and I'm like, man, I really like that guy. Now he's on a team that's not having success. Maybe we should go out and grab a guy like that. Typically, that's not what the Detroit Lions do, and that's what I need to come to terms with, if I'm being honest. So it's probably going to be a guy like a Trey Hawkins or a guy that's kind of a bubble guy or a guy who got a little bit banged up or has an injury history that now has an opportunity to be brought in for the cheap for a prove it situation. That's what Brad's about, man. So that's what I'll be looking to see. And if he does something else, I'll be surprised and I'll be happy. So I'm trying to get off of the like Greg Newsome or the that type of more of a splashy move type of seat, man, and just trying to be realistic and know it's probably going to be somebody off of somebody's practice squad or some bubble player that is going to go for like a 6th or 7th rounder and comes in just to put a Band-Aid or give a warm and fuzzy for us. So whoever that might be, I'll be on the edge of my seat waiting for. But the more good news we get, the more I think that we're just fine and we're less likely to have anything happen as well outside of maybe signing guys that were already on our roster as well, man, because the bottom line is DJ Reed will be back soon. TA won't be gone long. Those were our starting 2 corners. We still got Rock, right? So we still got a Meek. Brian Branch is a guy who can come drop down and play the nickel. Vontae Maddox can play the nickel and play the safety. We're not in as bad of a situation as it seems like, even though a lot of people have some bumps and some bruises. So that the TA news was just icing on the cake to just comfort me a little bit more. Now, what I do worry about with TA is this. He's a young kid, just getting his feet under him. He even made mention to the fact of he's trying to learn how to play this game as a veteran. And what he means by that, I believe, is he's trying to learn how to work smarter and not harder. So because of that, I hope he doesn't come back too soon if he's a little bit banged up, because this shoulder is something that was already a thing, and then obviously it's went to another level. So take whatever time it is that you need to get this thing healed up. Mentioned it in the last podcast. Hopefully those mental reps can help him when he comes back. And he's going to be fine one way or another. I said it before. I said it again. We're going to figure out exactly what he is. Now, if I misquote what I'm about to misquote, I probably am, because I only got to read the article about it on Twitter. It's a little snippet on Twitter. They mentioned that Coach Campbell was on 97 won a ticket today, and he talked about Amik playing some outside corner to help out TA. So what that meant to me was even when TA comes back, maybe Amik is finally going to get that opportunity to play some outside corner, and maybe we'll bump TA down inside. Now, if you watch the game film, these guys do move around. Uh, Rocky Singh was out there playing outside corner on T. Higgins before we lost TA. So it's not like these guys don't bump around. Sometimes you do see TA down inside of the box, man. And when we got everybody, we're at full complement. So Coach Shep does move these guys around. It's not like they only line up outside, but I'd be interested to see how this thing unfolds when everyone's healthy and everybody's back out there at full complement.
Yeah, that's a given. Let me ask you a question. Something popped in my head. I think someone asked yesterday, with the Terion Arnold news, will Aleem McNeil help the secondary? I'll give my 2 cents. You know how I stand, Will. The quarterback can't throw the football if he's on his ass and getting sacked. So I think it helps, but I'd still want Terion Arnold out there. All right. The team is not better without him. And someone mentioned, well, so we're getting a lot of coverage sacks. So a lot of those pressures and sacks are from coverage sacks. Listen, I don't have the analytics or the data in front of me that shows me what a coverage sack is and isn't in the NFL. I don't know. I know that if you hold the ball for 4 to 5 seconds, probably a coverage sack. But I see the Lions just getting after quarterbacks right now. So you've said it before, Will. It doesn't matter who's back there in the secondary. We could have Deion Sanders in his prime, Charles Woodson, all the greats. If you're not getting a pass rush and the quarterback has all time to get through his progressions and make his plays, you're going to have a tough time defending in this league with the new rules. So do you think that Aleem McNeil will help the secondary in a way?
Yes, simple. Like I don't even gotta elaborate. He's gonna create a pass rush. He's gonna be a problem. We're getting a Pro Bowler on that D line. It helps those guys on the back end. But what I do wonder, because you've mentioned it a couple times, and I hear some people that are pro TA, uh, they keep mentioning the fact of we're not better because he's gone. What I will say is this: TA mentioned that he was at 75%, and I don't believe that TA at 75% is better than Rock Yassin and Amik Robertson. I just don't believe that. Now, do I believe that the potential of TA is better than both of those guys? I do. I think TA is a potential star in the NFL. I still believe that. I think that he can still put it all together. I haven't given up on that yet. But at this current moment, I think there is a possibility, Steve, for what we have right now and what we had in 75% TA. There is a potential that the Detroit Lions just got better in their secondary instead of worse. And that's something that could be good going against the Kansas City Chiefs coming up, who they're going to be trying to throw this football all around. I know that they got Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, and they're going to try to run this football. But you know what you don't do in Detroit? You
Yeah,
don't run the
right.
ball. You don't run the ball. So this ball is going to be floated around in the air. And I'm really interested to see what these two veterans do with their opportunity. These guys know what the NFL is about. They know that there's a contract to be had too moving forward. And these opportunities, they're coming down to a window to where they're on the. I'm not gonna say they're on the back nine of their career, but they're not spring chickens either. So I think these guys are both guys that are going to take full advantage of the opportunity that they have in front of them. Meek, when he was talking about how he played, he said he felt like he played like shit, and he didn't play up to the standard of what he expects of himself. So I'm excited for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm excited for the Detroit Lions secondary. I'm excited for this D line. I'm excited for the linebackers. I'm excited for the receivers. I'm excited for the offensive line getting Taylor Decker back. I'm excited for the running backs. Steve, I'm excited for special teams, especially when Leaf gets back. He was looking special. Uh, I'm excited for the Detroit Lions. Jake Bates. Like, we got dogs everywhere. Every single place that you look, tight ends, dog. Like, there's not a place that you can go, to me, where we don't got dogs. I didn't even talk about the safety. They might be the two biggest dogs in the league. Like, so I'm excited to see what we do, especially with these two guys that I feel like a lot of people are overlooking a little bit. Um, Amik gets some flowers. Rock Yassin gets very little flowers. I feel like Rock Yassin is only getting flowers from football people people who watch it a little bit more than a novice fan. I don't think people could point out Rock Yassin if he was walking down the street. Right? This is a guy who has an opportunity to become special in Detroit. I feel like he was special in Baltimore, but I feel like he has an opportunity this coming week to become special in Detroit.
Yeah, I love Rock. I just, if you could promise me that he doesn't get hurt the whole season or doesn't have to miss a game, same with Devontae Maddox, I'd be perfectly fine with what we have. That's fantasy land. I know that's not going to happen. I'm just looking to add a guy for some depth. But Ali McNeil, we're just talking about making our defense better as a whole, and we're not even questioning it. I think Kelvin Shepard has done a phenomenal job. These games are being dominated in the trenches, I would say. We're getting pressures. We're getting sacks. Aidan Hutchinson is absolutely unblockable. El-Kadid Muhammad has really stepped his game up. A lot of people are probably still out on Marcus Davenport, but I still think he's a piece that could be pay some dividends later on in the year. DJ Reed coming back, Malcolm Rodriguez, Ali McNeil coming back here probably in the next 2 weeks or so. This defense is just going to get better and better. We're just a little banged up in the secondary. Slight concern. Talking about adding some depth. You got anything else for tonight, Will?
No, man, I'm just excited. I will say that we're talking about potentially coming over here and talking some trades, man. But a TA brought me that warm and fuzzy that maybe we don't even need to make a trade. You know what I mean? Maybe we can get away with just signing another practice squad dollar menu type guy with Brad, man. So just thankful for the news of TA not being as long term as it seemed like. Because when Coach Campbell was at that podium yesterday, he was like, "It's gonna be a while, long time." Like he was making me feel like you said, maybe season, if not season, maybe back in last couple games, playoffs type stuff.
Yeah, some fantastic news today. I was thrilled. I kind of took like a deep breath, like, oh, okay, hey, we're going to get Terion Arnold back at some point. That's at least some news. And then some reports, maybe just 4 weeks, maybe end of the month, who knows? But we're not doctors. We'll have to wait for the official word on that. But had to hop on, talk about some news, talk about some rumors. Lions kind of got blocked a little bit today. Should we still be making a trade? Drop some names that you're interested in. Try to keep it realistic, guys. If you think it's Sauce Gardner, you think it's Sauce Gardner. That's your opinion. I'm not going to tell you otherwise.
Trayvon Diggs.
No, not interested. We'll go down that road another day. Stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.